the Sunday night football game. We talked quite a bit about it. And one of the things that we talked about was our friend of the program, Dan Orlovsky, getting a shout-out from Mike Tirico almost damn near on the spot when Jimmy Garropolo stepped out of the end zone and created his own safety. And when that moment happened, I thought to myself, and Orlovsky's getting a shout-out, I thought, you know that GIF of Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where he's pointing at the screen? Like, oh, God, I see that. I recognize that.
Rick Dalton.
That's what I thought. I thought he had to be Rick Dalton wherever he was watching the game. Like, oh. And then sure enough, I'm thinking that, and in comes the tweet, all caps, from Dan Orlovsky. I've never been happier. Freedom, like he's William Wallace, okay? Tweeting that out. So the Rich Eisen Show booking crew knows that this man is what I call an anytime guest. Doesn't matter. Anytime he's free and willing to come on, we'll have him. And sure enough, today's that day. Perfectly timed on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line from the worldwide leader in sports, the great Dan Orlovsky. How you doing, Dan?
I'm better after that. I'm better after. So for clarity, it was 2 seconds. It was actually literally 2 seconds from the moment Jimmy's back foot hit till Tirico uttered the words. You guys remember Dan Orlovsky doing that? So it was hilarious, man. It was a quick memory moment for him.
So I know. Well, I mean, that's Tirico doing Tirico things. So where were you? Where were you watching this thing, and how quickly did you grab your phone to send that tweet, Dan?
Yeah, true story here. So I'm sitting outside. We have like a covered kind of fireplace television area out in the back of our house. So I was actually outside all day watching games, and then at night I was watching Sunday night football, but also watching some tape. And my kids had some friends sleep over, so they were inside watching, I think, like the new Jungle Cruise or whatever. So play happens, and immediately I jump off the couch and run inside. My wife was inside with our kids watching the movie, and I'm like, babe, and she's like, what? And I'm like, you got to come outside right now. And she's like, what? And I was like, babe, Jimmy Garropolo just stepped out of the end zone. I'm not alone anymore. And she came run out. She's like, what? And she like held up her cell phone to videotape the television. And I was like, no, it already happened. And they were doing replay after replay. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And that's when I fired off the tweet. So I was awkwardly excited.
You're not alone anymore. Although, I mean, that Jimmy Garropolo stepping out, Dan, was actually to his and the team's benefit because he threw a pick six. So that saved 4 points. What happened with your throw? That one I didn't know. What was the result of your play?
Yeah, you know the result because I actually never threw the ball because it took me way longer than Jimmy to realize. Well, Jimmy didn't even realize that he wasn't out of bounds technically because he obviously made the throw.
Yes.
I actually never threw the ball. And I've had many people come up to me like, you know what, man, kind of a smart play, because if you sack fumble and they recover, it's a touchdown. So, and I look at him like, guys, one, I'm not that smart. Two, you're an idiot for thinking I did that on purpose.